Hey, welcome back, guys. This is your boy Smokey. As always, I finally got down to making part 4 of the career mode. Finally, on this episode, you're gonna see. Finally, I have my first fight in the heavyweight division, and it's crazy because I've also been playing a career mode, but like a career mode roster, which I use John Fitch to go through the career mode. And on that mode, I've pretty much been I was the welterweight Grand Prix champ, and I also won the UFC title. But it's actually pretty crazy hard. I mean, well, once you get into the UFC and start getting like toward the end, when when you're close to the title, or if you win the title, it gets so crazy. Like, I've gotten so frustrated in this game. It's so retarded. But I've gotten so frustrated. Like, I just wanted to throw my controller into the wall. But good thing I have been able to calm myself down. But I still love the game. The game is awesome. Career mode is great. It's just a lot tougher, and as you saw in the beginning, you can choose your difficulty for it, and of course I always choose expert. So expert's crazy. I should have just went to advanced, but I don't know, maybe on another career mode run I'll maybe go advanced. I don't know, we'll see. But I just wanted to also talk about some news in the UFC. That there's been a lot of news. It's been pretty crazy, with this whole Rampage mess. I mean, I will always be a fan of Rampage, but oh my god, he's just been talking so much crap on Twitter, and to stop right there, I think it's pretty crazy the way now, like, Twitter's like this, like Twitter's almost like I don't know how to put this, but it's crazy how Twitter is like this huge thing now, where, like, I mean, people talk, and I mean, like, here in the UFC, like, it's like, all these fighters just start talking, and whatever they say on Twitter, it's like, oh my god, he actually says this. I mean, we really don't know if they really say this, or sometimes they say it for a joke. But I mean, come on. But Rampage Jackson, he's been on this roller coaster ride, trying to get out of the UFC and saying all this bad stuff. I mean, he's really trying to get the Fertitta brothers and Dana to kick him out, but Dana White said, hey, he signed the contract. He has one more fight left, and Rampage also said he wants to fight for his last fight, Mauricio Shogun, which I would love to see that fight. I've always wanted to see that fight. I mean, actually, I wanted Rampage to win the light heavyweight title again, and then defend it against Shogun. Like, I think that would be an awesome main event. The promotion would be crazy, but that never happened. He never beat John Jones, and now Rampage, after that last fight in Japan, it was pretty bad. But I mean, he says he was injured, and now I finally found out, like, a day or two ago, that because it was set in stone that Shogun and Rampage were gonna fight, but now more stuff comes into the pot. It boils up, and now Rampage has to get surgery on both knees. Rampage was just talking about he had one bad knee when he went into Japan and fought Ryan Bader, but now he has to get both knees injured now. So who knows when Rampage is gonna fight? So that fight with Shogun is pretty much going to be, they're pretty much going to store it up on the on the shelf, because Rampage is going to be out for a long time, and then for him to rehabilitate. I mean, look at George St. Pierre. I mean, he had to undergo knee surgery, and I mean, he's out for a while. He's out until October, November. So which is crazy also because Carlos Condit is saying, "Oh well, I'll wait for George St. Pierre." But I mean, come on, are you really gonna just relax and chill? I mean, actually, to put it in other words, do you really think the UFC is gonna let you just go on a vacation for so many months until the fall, even into the winter? I don't think so. But I mean, if they do, that's really stupid. And to me, that's kind of crazy on Carlos Condit's hand. I mean, many people have done this where they want to wait around for the champ to get better. And then when they really go in there and fight after, being off for over 6 months or, 6 months, they get rusty. So, and it always ends up bad on their part. So, I don't know about that. And, let's see what other news. Oh yes, and also the Nick Diaz, thing that's going on with there, where Nick Diaz hired this very high-powered attorney from Las Vegas, and he's been, battling out this whole suspension deal, and it's really crazy because now it's actually come out that Nick Diaz didn't test positive for marijuana, like for actual marijuana. He only tested positive for marijuana metabolites, which is like, it's marijuana, but it's not the actual marijuana. It's just some substance that he uses, and it was very little in his system. So it's kind of like, and the lawyer was saying that, there's no rules or anything, so pretty much Nick Diaz did not break the rules, So, now they're saying that he's going to have a very easy case, and he's probably going to win this case, and, and to me, I'm smelling a rematch between Nick Diaz and Carlos Condit this summer. That's what I'm thinking, because the court hearing is supposed to be here like in early April. So, if that gets turned over and the UFC, lets him come back in and fight, I would love to see a rematch. I would love to see Nick Diaz. And it's funny because I'm sure me and millions of fans out there want to see this fight again. But George St. Pierre also wants to see this fight, and because he clearly says he would even give up his title to fight Nick Diaz, and he actually likes the guy. He says Nick Diaz is really good for the sport. So and even George St. Pierre said that marijuana shouldn't even be illegal. It really doesn't. It heightens your sense a little bit, but it's not like Nick Diaz was, token up and then walking out there to fight either. Come on, it's so stupid. But I'm hoping the attorney that he hired really gets him out of this mess, and maybe he'll want to come back and get this rematch going, and win the interim belt, and then we could finally see Nick Diaz and George St. Pierre, pretty much the two best welterweights in the whole world. But I don't know. I'm just speculating, just talking, trying to get my commentary better. And there's other news as well. Upcoming events. There's that one fight night on FX. Alexander Gustafsson versus. It was supposed to be Little Nog, but Little Nog got injured, so now Thiago Silva is coming back. This is his first fight back from testing positive for steroids, because that fight he fought Brandon Vera, and I'm sorry, Brandon Vera, but he made you look like a little 50-pound Asian kid, Asian girl, man. Thiago Silva was manhandling Brandon Vera in that fight, and me and my cousin were kind of like, it was looking a little weird, like the way he was just tossing him and just manhandling Brandon Vera. And a week after we find out he tested positive for steroids, But this is going to be his first fight back. He was suspended for a couple months, so I think that's going to be a good test for Alexander Gustafsson. I really think this kid Alexander is gonna be a very good contender. I think I mean, out of all the out of all the prospects in the light heavyweight division, definitely Alexander is probably, I would say, number one contender here. Where, I mean, if he beat, because he's been putting away everybody, so if he can put away Thiago Silva, that's going to be a good wake up call for all the top 10 guys in the light heavyweight division, man. I mean, this kid is young, he's tall, he's like 6'4", he's like as tall as John Jones. He's got a crazy, although John Jones still has a little bit, like maybe 1 or 2 inch reach advantage, but he's got a good advantage. He has good stand-up. I mean, really good kickboxing. He has pretty good takedown defense too. I know the last fight he really showed some decent takedown defense. So there's that. I mean, this kid's showing good. We haven't seen any of his his grappling on the ground, any jiu-jitsu yet, but we will see how that goes. So, and yeah, I mean, that event is coming up. Also, the UFC 145, which is, this huge grudge match against John Jones and Rashad Evans. And I really want to see John Jones punish Rashad Evans. I mean, I like all the fighters in MMA, but, like, if there's one fighter out there that I just dislike, it would definitely have to be Rashad Evans. I mean, he's so cocky, and, I mean, he didn't prove much. I mean, he did beat Tito Ortiz and beat him, but he really didn't, like, impress. I mean, it's, don't get me wrong, Tito's a real phenomenal fighter, but he's like, he's like kind of washed up. I mean, he's getting old. I mean, not he's not washed up, but he's like old. And I mean, come on, to put away Tito, hey, come on. But I don't know, Rashad Evans. But there's this feeling in my gut that's just kind of like, I don't know. I mean, Rashad Evans could be the one that knows how to beat him, or just straight out just beats John Jones. I mean, he may not finish John Jones, but he could probably irk out a decision and get the title. I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, maybe Rashad Evans' wrestling is a little bit better, or maybe he's like a little stronger, on the ground. I mean, we are really not sure, but one thing is he has the best advantage out of everyone, which was he trained with him. And so, I mean, we really won't know until everything starts. But it's pretty crazy though. I'm like, I don't know. I just hope, because there's been so many upsets in the UFC that I just have this kind of gut feeling that Rashad Evans might win this, but I hope not. But we'll see. Yep. And on other news, I don't know if anyone sees Bellator, but the one guy which I would love to see come to the UFC is Pat Kerwin, man. That guy is vicious, man. I mean, I really think he could give maybe even Jose Aldo a run for his money. That guy has so crisp, precise boxing, and I mean, that guy, the way he put away Joe Warren was, oh my God, and that is one bad referee that refereed that fight. Oh my God, like, are you serious, man? I mean, dude ate like what, four clean knees to the face. I mean, he was gone long time ago, and this ref just kept watching Pat Kern just like destroy him. I mean, like at the end when he finally, said, okay, that's enough. I mean, Joe Warren was just sitting down on the cage, like it was pretty nasty looking. I mean, come on. I mean, that's not like this is a sport, and I mean the ref should have stopped it with the second knee. He should have stopped that fight. I mean, it was just ridiculous. Like, they should really look into that ref and maybe even suspend him for a little bit, because that was just wrong. I mean, if I was Joe Warren, I would be really, really pissed right now. But I mean, I understand, championship fight, you want to let things go, but I mean, something like that, like Joe Warren was turning his back to Pat, and it's like, come on, like it's over, man. It's not like he was still trying to move, and he was he stiffed up and he turned his back, and Pat Kern just nailed him. But what can you do? But anyway, guys, this is part 4. I'm just happy you guys listened in on my mumblings and stuff of what's going on in the MMA world. So stay tuned for part 5. This is Smokey. See ya later.